Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here, and today we have some gameplay, some ranked gameplay for the Meowscarada and Decidueye deck. This is the archetype that did extremely well in last weekend's Pokemon TCG Pocket Tournament, the largest tournament of all time. Now, this gameplay that we're going to be, showcasing here in this video was from like last weekend. It was kind of after Garchomp really surged in popularity, and it really did feel like Meowscarada and Decidueye was a top choice in the metagame, and as we've seen, that's kind of come to fruition. So this gameplay was from about a week ago. This was the deck list that I was playing in this video. I think that most of the Decidueye and Meowscarada decks are fairly similar. I think the big difference with our list is that we're playing one red card and one Mars instead of maybe two Ericas. The Giovanni as well does come in clutch sometimes, but it might not be the most needed thing in the deck list. This is certainly a really strong deck. It's got a really great position in the metagame. Basically, across all of the most played decks, all of the Giratina decks, Oricorio decks, and even all of the fighting decks, Decidueye and Meowscarada should be very well positioned, and of course it did do extremely well this past weekend in the tournament, so I wanted to get some gameplay out. And again, this was from, I believe, last weekend, but it performed pretty well for us, and we had a pretty good run on stream. We typically stream on the weekends, so if you guys want to go ahead and maybe tune in, we'll probably stream this Sunday as well at the end of the ranked season, so stay tuned, stick around for that. But yeah, here's the deck list. So we've got two Sprigatito, one Floragato, and then two Meowscarada. That's certainly the core of the deck. I believe that Meowscarada itself is kind of what carries the deck list. However, we kind of want to pair something with it, and the best partner, I believe, is definitely Decidueye, where we have one Rowlet, one Dartrix, and one Decidueye, two Rare Candy, two Leaf Cape, only one Ericas, but two Pokeball, two Professor's Research, and a Mars and a red card. A lot of hand disruption. Now, the funny thing about this deck list is that even though it's extremely well positioned, it does struggle against hand disruption. It's one of the main factors, I think, that really disrupts this deck list. So we're actually playing some hand disruption of our own, not only for the mirror match, but against some of those other stage 2 decks, things like Garchomp, and maybe like some of the fire stage 2 decks like Charizard or Infernape or Incineroar, which you'll actually see some gameplay of in this particular video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Comment down below what you think of Meowscarada. Again, this is gameplay from the live stream, so I'm going to be talking to the chat. Some of the context might be a little bit interesting, but for the most part, we just kind of chill, we hang out, we play some fun games. It's nothing too serious. But again, I did want to post this video and showcase this deck list because, of course, it did do extremely well this past weekend. I think it's one of the top decks of this format currently right now, and one of the best and most well-positioned decks that you can play currently, especially for ranked battles, but also in tournaments, again, as we saw this past weekend. All right, guys, let's get right into the gameplay. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Hope you enjoy. Let's get right into some gameplay. Let's do it. Now, the one thing I will say, a lot of people playing red card, a lot of people playing Mars. Have I had my water yet, though? I got it right here. There we go. Got the water. We're going to be sipping on that tonight, for sure. For sure. We normally stream on Saturdays, but could not stream yesterday, so we're streaming tonight. It's a Sunday night, so I assume, Okay, first game is against Fire. Not exactly what we want to see, especially with this starting hand. Jeez Louise, is that not a good starting hand? But let's see. I think we're going second, maybe. Signed up for a partial ASMR stream. That's right. That's what you're getting tonight, for sure. So first game playing grass, and we're playing fire. So, and we get red carded turn 1. So we know how that's going. We know how today's going. It is what it is. Our list today is a little bit funky, even worse actually, even a worse hand than what we had previous to this. But what we can do is play this red card and probably lose this game right off the bat. This is what we get for playing grass on the ladder. Is probably exclusively fire decks tonight. Probably gonna fall out of Master Ball rank today. Let's go. What's up, Salty? Thanks for tuning in. Let's just skill dive the active. Nothing else that we can do. We went red card for red card. Unfortunately, though, we're playing two Sprigatito, one Rowlet, and we did lead Rowlet, which isn't very helpful, especially if we do not have Rare Candy Decidueye. We do have one of those two cards. So, technically speaking, if we just top decked Decidueye, we would go nuts right now. But we didn't. We we pulled the Leaf Cape. Technically keeps us alive this turn, which is kind of crazy unless we see the Charmeleon from our opponent. Let's just go ahead and ride this out because we're probably going to lose this game, and there's no two ways about it. Yeah. Isn't red carding or Marsing on turn 1 kind of risky? Red card, you kind of do want to pop like turn 1, to be honest with you, especially if you're going second and they red card, you know what I mean? Or if they research, that's definitely the way to go. Okay, we somehow haven't lost this game yet. Here comes the Decidueye off the top deck. It's not. It's not actually what it was, but hey, There's hope. I actually have hope for this game. If our opponent is just bricking, then we have a chance. But, you know, I'm suspecting a Charizard here at some point. So we're going to cry for help. We do lose to a Charmeleon if he does just happen to have the Charmeleon. And that's a Dartrix. Okay, I was hoping for a Meowscarada, I'm not going to lie. But if he doesn't do anything, we can always Floragato KO. But there's the Pokeball. Okay. It's over Brick City. It's not going good, guys. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that for free. Okay, it goes into Litten. That's also fine, I think. Because we can KO with Floragato, which is pretty funny, actually. Well, do we want to play the... See, now what I want to do... I think we have to play the Giovanni and get rid of this Litten, like, immediately, I'm pretty sure. Let's just evolve both of these up. We can research next turn. No reason to go ahead and do that now. We do get KO'd by the Charmander, though, which does feel bad. But I think we always just take the KO. Do we, though? I mean, if we research... We should have researched... We've already committed to it, so we have to do this. It might have been better not to. But, yeah, unfortunately, we're already losing a lot of HP. So this Floragato is going to go down next turn, especially. But if he does that, then he doesn't Charizard. And that's an important note, right? Is that if he KOs with Charmander next turn, he doesn't evolve into Charizard, which is pretty good. So here's the Giant Cape. So the Giant Cape attached KO would be hilarious. No evolve. Okay, so we can still win this game. I'm still confident in our ability to win this game. We have to... Well, Decidueye does win us the game here. But we just need another basic, or Erica's maybe as well. Our list is weird. There's a Meowscarada. Our list is strange because we're playing... What do we draw here? Mars and another research. Oh, no. Oh, no. 8 cards in deck. Nothing. No Ericas. No Ericas. No other basic. No Pokeball. We got cooked. We both bricked. Except I just bricked a little bit harder than my opponent. So GG to him. We're going to ride it out because I think that grass is actually still a good pick. And also in my video on Friday, I believe, or Thursday, whichever one I was talking about the best ranked video decks. That's the best decks for ranked video. This was the video I kind of talked about. So we're you know what I mean? We're sticking to our guns and we're going to try to do our thing with it. Thoughts on adding second Decidueye and removing an item? The thing is, if you run 2 Decidueye, it's just a useless card unless you have like the setup for it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Playing against Snorlax, which is actually also one of the decks we don't do good against. So back-to-back bad matchups for our grass deck, unfortunately. And what a hand. What a hand here. Not good. Not a good hand. All right, let's see what we can do here. We can put in some work. You know, when you're playing grass, you have a chance to beat everything. But Snorlax is certainly not a good card for grass decks. Because, of course, a lot of HP. We don't even 2 KO this thing. It does 100 damage. It's pretty sketch. It's pretty sketchy. There's a rare candy, so here's the deal. We could Mars and hope that he doesn't get Berry. But I think we hold Mars. And we play Research because we just need another basic Pokemon. That's all we need are basic Pokemon. Meowscarada would be cool as well. 2 rare candies? Okay. Yeah. We got a lot of cards in our hand. Oh, we already have Meowscarada in hand. That's good to know, actually. The deal here is that we're probably forced to Meowscarada here. Because he's not going to have 2 berries, right? If he even has it. With 11 cards in his deck. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We could not evolve this guy, cry for help, but we only have 8 cards in deck, so I'm actually going to just go ahead and rare candy it up. That way we just don't get KO'd. Having only 1 Ericas in the deck is a little bit suspect as well, but this is the list that did the best today, actually. In the $1,000 Godsley tournament that had 900 players. Definitely, especially if he just like attaches and slaps Berry here, because okay, so no Berry, which is pretty relevant. So our list is definitely like we're very reliant on hitting the few matchups we're not bad against. Unfortunately, we've done that back-to-back times, which does feel bad. We're going to Pokeball into our Rowlet here, which is going to be kind of a saving grace for us because Decidueye is one of the few things that kind of keeps us going here in this matchup. So we're just going to evolve up all our guys. Giovanni does not do anything for us, but we can just Mars preemptively. I think I would rather Mars away this 5-card hand than hold it. Probably better to hold it, but you know what? I don't want a Greninja next turn. And I don't want a Berry next turn. So this is what we're doing here. We've got double Leaf Cape in the deck. We have Erica's in the deck. We have Decidueye in the deck. And another Meowscarada, and I think we have a red card. So I think that's what's in our deck currently. What does our opponent do here? He goes attach Rocky Helmet. Berry? Double Rocky Helmet. Oh, no. Okay. We're good. We're good. We got the Leaf Cape. Okay. Does Leaf Caping the active do anything for us here? It does if he just pulls out a Greninja combo, right? We're probably in a situation to just have Meowscarada go down. What we want to bait our opponent into doing, truthfully, is KOing Meowscarada with Giratina. Because what that does is it allows us to go into Decidueye and clean up. Or just revenge KO with Meowscarada. That's kind of the idea. But we're going to get hit by the Snorlax and take 100. So as long as we don't see a Greninja this turn, we're okay, I think. The thing with Garchomp... Okay, so there's the Berry. The thing with Garchomp, actually, is that it's... This leaves us... so if we attack and we go down to 30, unless we draw Erica's here. Interesting. The thing with Garchomp is actually, like, it's fairly consistent. It's just not good against Giratina Darkrai. And whenever you're not good against Giratina Darkrai, you're kind of reliant on a number of different sort of... I don't know. You're a bit reliant on certain matchups, you know, and like just making sure that you don't hit that matchup. But the thing is, Giratina Darkrai is very common, and you probably are going to hit it quite often. The thing is with Meowscarada is that you're good against a lot of the best decks, basically all of the best decks in the format, and that we could get Guzma here, which would be terrible. Guzma Greninja ping would be real bad. But yeah, he's going to go into Froakie here. So he's got 7 cards in deck. It really just comes down to whatever he does here. Like the fact that we haven't seen a Greninja yet is really good. He might just hit us with flop. We're going to get flopped. We do get flopped. So this is really good for us, actually. I know it doesn't seem that way, but as long as we draw our second Meowscarada, yeah, this is really good. This is definitely really good. That Mars that we did randomly earlier ended up being pretty clutch. So I actually want to stay in here. So we're just going to KO. And then I think we're kind of chilling. I think we're okay. He could just draw into the Greninja combo here, KO, and then, but then all he has to do is like, we're not in a bad spot. One Sabrina in this deck I do like, but I understand the idea of playing red card, Giovanni, and Mars. Like it's kind of like a lot of tech options in our Meowscarada deck. Okay, 1-1 here against bad matchups, which is pretty good, for sure. Whenever you're playing Decidueye, you don't have to play Cyrus, and you don't have to play Sabrina, which is a big advantage because it opens up space in your deck, and you're never reliant on drawing those cards to take a K on the bench. It's Fire again? What are the odds that we play 2 Fire decks and a Snorlax deck in our first 3 games of playing Grass? Like the 2 worst matchups are the only things we've hit so far. It's just bad. We do have red card though, so we always have the potential. But it's not going to be good here. We're really relying on drawing rare candy this turn. Oh, man. Am I ever going to grind with Darktina? No. Darktina is the only deck I haven't played. Okay, he gets all of his basics. So red card. Okay, actually, now it's probably still worth red carding. I don't know, is it? I mean, yeah, it's better to red card now than later, I guess. Maybe we wait a turn on red card. That would be pretty sketchy if we did that. Oh! Wait a minute. I think we have to red card. I'm going to red card. I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have the evolution here and we can just start getting with Meowscarada. That's literally my only hope. Lin in the active's good too because this is the only Pokemon that can attack early, right, is Incineroar. So as long as he doesn't get the Incineroar out, that Floragato is literally the one card we didn't want to pull off Call for Help, but we got it, I guess. Okay. All right. This is what I'm talking about here. This is why our deck does not like It does not like red card in Mars for sure. Top deck rare candy. Hello? What is going on? What deck were you running? I did not play in the tournament. I was very, very busy this weekend. Very, very busy. In fact, I did not live stream yesterday because I was busy. So, we did manage to do this. This doesn't mean we win by any means, but if our opponent ends up bricking again, then, you know, we might have a chance. But if he just gets that Charizard out, we're cooked. That's really what it comes down to here. 10 cards in deck. So if we see a Charizard, I think it's just a nil. Unless we can somehow just draw into some evolution Pokemon here. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Alright, let's go. Huge. Big plays. Big plays. What do we have? Leaf Cape as well. So now we have to play the Mars, right? I think now we have to just play the Mars and hope that, like... Because he just Pokecombed. And so we know he's got that Pokemon. So I think we always just play a Mars. What's the best Pokemon to pair with Solgaleo in your opinion? I think it's Snorlax. But I don't know. Like, that's the issue with Solgaleo is, like, there's not, like, a ton of great pairs for Solgaleo. And they all do good things, but they all do bad things as well. You know what I mean? Like, I like Snorlax because it gives you basically free retreat, which is really nice. But it's like, you know, it doesn't feel great. Ooh, okay, the research. We see the Charizard here, we're cooked. That's the truth. We can't, oh, jeez Louise. We can't even beat, like, a single Charizard. Like, this one Charizard will beat us. There's nothing we can do about it, which is what's hilarious. Okay. Alright. Actually, it's not, I guess. We have to retreat. We have to cry for help here. I guess we'll just Erika's. We almost had it. We almost had our opponent. But unfortunately, he came down with all 3 basics on turn 1 and did end up getting the Charizard. I mean, he's got 6 cards in his deck, so... Floragato, the one card we did not want, actually. Coincidentally. Technically speaking... Yeah, we can't do it. There's no way to get over the Charizard. He's gonna KO us anyway. The only hope was Decidueye because it can technically live a hit, but no, we're cooked. Okay. Technically speaking, we can... is there a route? No, there's no route. We lose. We lose to a single Charizard, unfortunately. We just didn't draw. Like, we didn't draw any researches or anything. He's got Lily anyway. It was close. It was close. It's going to be tough. If we're only going to be playing fire decks tonight, we're not going to win many games. I'll tell you that much right now. If that's what we're playing tonight, it's going to be a lot of losses, I'll tell you that. And that's the thing when you play Meowscarada, is you have one auto lose, realistically, which is like Charizard. We just happen to have played it twice already, which is hilarious, because I never ever play Charizard unless I'm playing grass decks. Like, it never comes up. I never ever play fire unless I'm playing any grass decks. For us to have played Charizard and then Snorlax and then Charizard is pretty funny, because that's extremely unlikely given the fact that we've played 3 games of grass. I'm not thanking my opponent, he BM'd us. We just went turn after turn of like not drawing a setup. We were just kind of banking off that opening Meowscarada and it didn't go anywhere. This wins against Darktina and Greninja. It does, yeah. And it theoretically should beat Lele as well. But, I mean, we can beat a lot of decks. It's just whether or not we get lucky or not off the, off the intro and get our setup going. Here's a Dartrix, because we're about to go double Pokeball, which is pretty cool. And we also have Rare Candy in hand, so there's a lot of potential for the following turn. But going first, the other thing that stinks about Meowscarada is we're really bad going first. We always want to go second, because like we can't attack until turn 3 if we do that. I'm gonna hold Leaf Cape. Actually, I'm just gonna put it on the Rowlet. My cat's meowing. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Hey Pocket Mads, I've watched all your content recently and I think you really helped me. I appreciate your congrats on 20k, you deserve it. Mr. Rigsby, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for saying that. We're playing Pikachu, which is crazy. I'm not going to red card him yet. Thought there was a cat outside my window. Meow. Definitely pretty cool. Oh, it's Raichu. Oh, it's Raichu Arceus. I haven't even been paying attention. This is a cool deck, actually. This Raichu isn't bad at all. Like, it's really not a bad card. It's kind of funny to see it. Just to see play. Like, the thing is, like, I don't know how our matchup is against this deck. I assume it's actually pretty decent. Or I assume, like, the deck we're playing against does pretty decent against us, but, yeah. The Erikas I really do appreciate right off the rip. And now we're just drawing off the top deck, basically. That's what it comes down to. So Raichu does 40 and then 20 to all of our bench Pokemon, which is a little scary, actually. Is that a Meowscarada hiding in my room? It is. That's my Meowscarada just battle crying. So he did okay. Oh, research is sweet. Hopefully we draw some good stuff here. Another Meow and a Mars. Okay, I am actually going to commit to the Dartrix early and often. We lived 2 hits from the Raichu, so we're kind of doing okay, I think. Any reason not to have 2 Aricas? I mean, I think in the format, it doesn't really matter against a lot of matchups. We get Town Eldered? The Town Elder's the Oricorio? What a crazy thing. This thing takes 30 less damage from attacks, too, so we only did this thing for 30, which is hilarious. Which is actually super funny. Okay, what can we draw here? Another research? Sure. Why not? There's the Decidueye, which we probably go into right now. Because we're not messing around with this Meowscarada. We're not doing much damage, especially to this Raichu. So, yeah, let's 2-hit KO him with Decidueye. That sounds like a good plan for me. We also have the other Meowscarada in hand. So, yeah. This is only going to do 50. But that's fine. Even if he has healing, we can hit for 70 next turn with Pierce the Pain. Primarina was robbed. Yeah, man, I like Primarina. That solo deck challenge with Primarina and Crabominable kind of goes hard, actually. It kind of goes hard. Yeah, we'll get this Meow set up. We'll KO. I think we'll probably just red card here. Why not? Just stay ahead at least a bit on card advantage. He is actually setting up the Arceus, which is a bit scary. Even though we do KO here. We have Giovanni, which is super funny. We can KO with Meowscarada, but anyway. Let's Pierce the Pain. He can't even do anything next turn. I don't think we ever lose here. We got the Infinity. We got the Exodia setup going. We've got the full Infinity Gauntlet created here. Decidueye is a crazy card. I think we're going to see Decidueye be extremely relevant as time goes on in the metagame. So we can't damage him here, but okay, yeah, he's going to concede. We'll count that as a free win against sort of a Fringe non-meta deck. I take those free wins all day to the bank, twice on Sundays. But the banks are closed on Sundays. That's right. But we're open. This bank is open. Do I think Decidueye Greninja is viable? I do think it's good. I think the disrespect on Decidueye Greninja is hilarious. I think it's actually a really good deck, especially in the format right now. Just nobody's really playing it, which is fine. Alolan Raichu just does damage for 3 colorless. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's just a little bit lackluster for what it is. I don't think it's a bad card by any means, but I don't think it's a great card by any means. Leading Rowlet is Troll, actually. Double Research is kind of also a troll. Rare Candy, Dartrix. Let's Cape. We're not even worried because we're going to just straight up draw into Decidueye next turn off the Research, so chilling. We should have a good Garchomp matchup, but you never know, I guess. Surprised the Owl isn't more meta. I mean, it's just, I think it's because early on in the format, everyone was playing Fire. For no good reason as well, but everyone was playing Fire, and it basically just didn't allow Decidueye to see that much play or do very well. But I think now with all of the Giratina meta and Oricorio and all of this crazy stuff going around, I think Grass is totally viable, especially with like Garchomp seeing so much play. Ooh, I actually want a Mars so bad. I actually really want a Mars here. And I think we're actually safe to do so, but then we give ourselves like another turn to... Yeah, we have to keep in mind card advantage, so I think we have to Mars. I think we have to. Doesn't feel great because with Research in hand, but I think it's always correct Mars here. So I'm trying to read you guys' chats. I absolutely love this game. I was hyped when it was first announced, but didn't remember it existed until Triumphant Light was already out. Oh, man. Triumphant Light was a crazy metagame. Perhaps the worst metagame we've ever had, actually. Which is funny that you say that. Okay, so he gets the combo here anyway, which is hilarious. Shout out to Mars. Thoughts on Lele Giratina at one Ursa Days tournament? I think it's really good. I basically think it's the better version of Snorlax Giratina because you're good against Oricorio and you're good against both just Giratina Darkrai. So I think it's actually one of the things that might push Darktina a little bit out of the metagame per se. This is a bit sketchy here, for sure. Okay. We do hit for weakness on this bad boy. Oof. Okay. All right. We actually could very well lose this game, which is hilarious to me. This brings us above 100. Yeah, that's clutch. All right. Well. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? It's a weird dynamic, for sure. He's definitely going to hit us for 130. 7 cards in deck. We have another basic. We have a lot of stuff in our deck that we would like to have right now. Erica's is certainly one of them. The Pokeball's fine, actually, with Rare Candy in hand. The odds of us drawing into a Meowscarada next turn is quite high, so don't mind it. We'll just KO the active and then hope he doesn't. I mean, he's going to KO with Gabite, right? But as long as we just can draw one of our 2 Meowscaradas with 5 cards in deck, we should be okay. Dialga and Arceus was by far... you're right. Triumphant Light was Darktina, which was actually not that bad. That was the last format. It was fun in the beginning, and then it got real bad towards the end. Space Time Smackdown was awful. Oh, he actually goes into the Skull Fossil here, which is a really interesting play. Oh, no, just into another Chomp. Okay. So, we need Meowscarada now. We genuinely really need it. But no Rampardos, so if we do get Meowscarada, the game's over. Some of those cards will not be useful. Oh, yeah, he goes for the... Wait, what? What? Excuse me, sir? Excuse me? What was that? Why would he do that? What just happened? RIP to this dude. We stay in anyway. And we Razor Leaf for 100. He can Lily, but I think if he Lilies, we still KO with Meowscarada, so 200 IQ plays. Yeah, you still lose. You still die to Lily, my guy. Unfortunately. Unless he drops also something. What else could he possibly play here to live? Nothing, even Giant Cave, because we hit for 150. Using Drabble Gibble has saved me against Arceus EX Carnivine, for sure, dude. I think Dragon Gibble is by far the correct option. 1000%. Play your Dragon Gibbles. All day, every day. Anyone have any eyes on the Pacers-Cavs game right now? Can anybody tune into that? Let me know. Let me know what the score is. I would love to know what's going on. Triumphant Light, Dialga, Arceus, Space Time, Celebi, Eggs. Is that true? Triumphant Light was Dialga, Arceus? No. Triumphant Light was Giratina. It was Darkrai Giratina. Do I have Denver or OKC winning? I have OKC winning. Then I have Wolves over Warriors. Celtics over Knicks. And I guess at this point I have Indiana over Pacers, which is crazy. The Rowlet lead is trolling us. We've gone first, I think, every game so far. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but we've yet to go second, and we've played a lot of matchups that are bad for us. So our luck tonight is pretty bad, even though we're at a 50% win rate. There should be a Sword and Shield pack. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Sword and Shield was perhaps the least popular set, or the least popular generation of all time, I think. Maybe other than like Gen 5. I know people like Gen 5 now, but like historically it was never popular. Pretty sure. We always cape Sprigatito here. We're basically 2 turns behind because we either stand with Rowlet or we never cry for help. Which either way is terrible. Basically, the worst case scenario for us is to go first and then lead Rowlet. I think next set's going to be a mini set, so it'll still be like Ultra Beast themed, probably. I'm gonna keep that Leaf Cape for now, actually. We'll just hit. Maybe we draw into Decidueye somehow. But now we're forced, like next turn, do we retreat out, ditch the energy, and then cry for help? You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't feel bad. But then the likelihood of us drawing into like Rare Candy is slim. So we're just in a bad position here. We get red carded, which is funny. Not that it matters, but what do we draw here? Rare Candy and Meow. Need me Marshadow EX. That would be sick. I forgot Marshadow was... Look, Marshadow's... Isn't it Generation 7? When did Marshadow come out? What? Can somebody let me know? Genuinely curious. When did Marshadow come out? Gen 7, okay. Is it really? Was it? But it wasn't like in a part of like the chronology of the games though, right? Like it didn't have anything to do with... What am I saying? But it didn't have anything to do with like the story or anything, right? It was just sort of like a movie Pokemon during that era, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It didn't. Yeah. That's why I couldn't, you know, I couldn't think of it. This game made me forget it was a mythical. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's like the Jirachi, Mew, Celebi of that generation. Hoopa would be like the other one, although Hoopa's a bit different because it transforms, but Victini is another one, right? Is mythical not Ultra Beast? Ultra Beasts are different in a weird way. We're just vibing. I will Eric is this active if I need to. I'm not bringing in Meowscarada, but I just know that he probably has Sabrina in hand, or he's waiting for Sabrina. Yeah, definitely doing all of this right now. Rare Candy, another Meow. Interesting polls here. Let's red card him now. Why not? Yeah. Ultra Beasts are weird subclass of legendaries, but they're not mythicals. Ultra Beasts are weird. They're not actually Pokemon, which is funny. Technically, Ultra Beasts are not Pokemon, which I find to be super interesting. They're technically just aliens that we also catch in a ball for some reason. That Rocky Helmet is bad for us. Basically means that we don't want to... well, it means we don't want to hit the active, because then we go down to 150, which means he can ping and then KO. So what we need is like another basic. Let's just Erica's. I'm going to just ride out the active. I'm straight up riding here until we just draw into Decidueye. We have 7 cards in deck, which is hilarious. Yeah, I'm doing it. Not attacking there was probably better than attacking. But maybe next turn we just don't attack. All we need is a poke. We have 1 Pokeball, 1 Sprigatito in our 7-card deck. Also, we have another research. So, yeah. PCL does nothing. Unless he also Giant Capes, which is probably... which probably will happen. Ugh. Decidueye would be super cool. Also wouldn't really... I don't know. Wouldn't really help us. We could still lose this. Sprigatito means we don't lose. In fact... Always just retreat and KO now. Although we could get Marsed. I'm doing it. Because he's got 3 energy in this Giratina anyway, which is hilarious. Which means he can't even actually do the 150 next turn. So I think this is a winning play either way. Pacers are up by 40 points right now. That's wild. People slept on Indiana, dude. The Celtics played them in the conference finals last year, and it was, even though we swept them, which by the way we swept this team, they were still the most impressive opponent we had, and that includes Dallas in the finals. Like, it was by far our hardest series. Even though it was the only series we swept, it was by far the hardest series for us. The opponent misplayed? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really mattered for him anyway. Like, we could have been more proactive there and just, you know, done whatever, but we should never lose that matchup, to be honest. If not Pokemon, then why go into a ball? They don't go into a Pokeball. That's the thing, Doo-Doo Head. That's the thing. They don't go into Pokeballs. So they're not Pokemon. They go into Beast Balls, or whatever the frick they call them. Hold on. We're going second, guys. We are going second with kind of a gas hand as well. What are we playing? Fire, though. We're playing Fire. Of course we are. Of course. What do I think the best decks are for beginners? Honestly, oh, we're playing in Infernape, which means we actually live and attack. Meowscarada does with Leaf Cape. Don't tell anybody. Never mind. No, we no longer do that with with Rocky Helmet. Sure, we'll grab all our basics. Ultra Beasts are technically not considered Pokemon. They're not Pokemon. I've played Sun and Moon. They're not Pokemon. They're just weird aliens from a different universe. I will keep the active. Although he's just going to scratch us, but we have Erica's in hand, which would be pretty funny. Our hand actually ended up being quite bad with no rare candies. 11 cards in deck. I mean, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. The Decidueye, man. We are playing Stage 1 evolutions. They just don't exist in our deck here. We're probably going to end up seeing the old Rare Candy turn 2 combo here. Oh, it's his first, yeah, whatever. Okay. I'm definitely playing this Mars. Catch me on the other side of that. For sure. Is it better to attach to the other Sprigatito here? It definitely is, right? No matter how you slice it. He could evolve and think and KO. Which is terrible. But I think Mars was always correct anyway. Doesn't matter where they're from. Still Pokemon. Oh my gosh. What would I replace for Pokecom in this deck? I would probably replace either Red Card or Mars. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we gave him every basic Pokemon in his deck. What the heck? Okay, now we play Erica's, and we definitely just draw into Giant Cape for sure. No, it's a dead Pokeball. R.I.P. He's like, no way he's just gonna heal back up. Yes way. Yes way. Crying for help to finally pull our Stage 1 evolutions. Yeah, 209 live. Thank you for the $2, by the way, man. Thank you so much. I mean, this deck is playing Disruption, which is definitely not bad in the format, but also it makes the deck super reliant on just drawing the Pokemon that you need, which is tough. Fire again, yeah. This is fire again. I think that chime, by the way, is the delayed Dono chime. Correct me if I'm wrong. So now that we have Rare Candy, which we always use and take a KO, even though we directly get KO'd by the Turtonator, which we lose to, by the way. Well, hold on now. If we Rare Candy the bench, we technically can attack and then live. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? 120? Pretty sure it works that way. Still in a bad spot. But what are you going to do? Duskmane, Dawn Wings, and Ultra Necrozma. Yeah, I forgot about the Ultra like Necrozma and Lunala things. Like those are crazy Pokemon. Dead Pokeball should still give you an extra card if Iono is played. Could still give you. What does that mean? What is this man talking about? Very much banking on another Rare Candy here with 4 cards in deck to find our Decidueye, I think. Yeah, we're staying in. We already popped our Ericas, which is tough. Definitely feels bad, but he has to attach active. Alright, what were we saying? If I hold dead Pokeball... Oh, and Iono, you mean? Oh, he's going to Siren. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this play did nothing for him. Actually, no, it did. It made it so Chimchar can KO next turn. I mean, I guess that was the correct play. We're going to lose without Rare Candy Decidueye anyway, right? So we're kind of banking on that. Okay, that should seal the deal, I think. And we have Leaf Cape as well. Leaf Cape does put us out of range. Let's Rare Candy. If we KO with Decidueye here. So the decision here is where to Cape, right? If we Cape the active, we live next turn no matter what, which I think is always preferred. And Decidueye lives in an attack from Infernape anyway, so that's the play. Sorry, I had to think about that. KO. We live an attack. Oh, no, we don't. We still don't live from Chimchar. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't do math. I don't know how to do math. But if he doesn't evolve, then he loses to Decidueye anyway, right? So, you know, apples and oranges. Yeah, GG. Okay, this is why... listen, our opponent bricked, I'm not going to lie.